September 28th, 2021. And on this morning, on Gayle King's show, they mentioned something about the British fuel crisis. Now, I'm going to put it on so you can take a listen, that they have long lines at the pump reminiscent of the 70s, but here's the thing. And they're also missing 5,000 truck drivers. Now, the thing is that when you do inside Cadbury egg planning, you have a very itemized list. There should never be a shortage of anything on your societal birthing schedule and on demand and for career. But apparently, Britain, one of the wealthiest nations, it says, must have switched their schematic from what was expected on zodiacal planning and up ahead in like 100-year schematic to some form of alternate source where there were visas involved, because now they're issuing visas to try to attract truck drivers. I mean, it's a whole new angle added to something that had worked for so and protected people for so long is now all like the rock, the foundation has now all of a sudden changed in societal norm.
Performances begin October 5th on Broadway.
This morning, the British Army is on alert to help respond to a severe fuel shortage. Gas stations across Britain are running dry because there are not enough truck drivers to deliver supplies. Other industries are also affected, and panic buying is making the problem worse. Holly Williams is in London, where it's easy to see how this is unfolding.
On that 100-year flood plan and floodplain, they know these things. Smart men exist within this world. That's why when it hits the streets with shortages, there's such an immediate panic within certain communities that have had such a long history of certainty.
Good morning. The British government insists there is enough fuel in this country and that if everyone just took what they needed, there would be no shortage.
But this happens not at people level. This is at alien equipment level, spiritual realm elsewhere.
One of the wealthiest countries in the world.
Well, I knew it would be like this, and I don't think it's going to get any better because all the pumps have run dry now.
Panic buying has set in. The famous British stiff upper lip is quivering. Tempers are flaring.
They're saying these are British.
The problem is
I don't know. I haven't gotten a clear identity from humans.
100,000 of them. And it's affecting everything from supermarket shelves to healthcare workers who may struggle to get to work. Experts say it's a perfect storm. Since the UK
I thought
left the
British was a
European
crown
Union, known as
term.
Brexit,
That's
it's
why
been
it's
harder for many
confusing. They might be
foreign workers to
English,
come
but
here.
I don't
The
know.
pandemic encouraged others to return home and left a backlog of trucking license applications. Mark Corker runs a traditional English pub where the unthinkable has happened. The beer supply has become unstable. So there are some days when
Now, they used to have local IPA, like they call them here IPAs, but independent breweries. But now they're not even brewing their own source. I mean, I guess this is this new urbanite, but now they're waiting on larger brand to deliver stock congruency. I mean, again, I'm not in the nitty-gritty of their part of the machine, but I'm just saying from an outside observer standpoint, these are some things that are a little concerning when I see them from my bird's eye view.
the beer just doesn't arrive that you've ordered from the depot.
Yeah, from our supplier, yeah.
He also has a chronic staff shortage. He says his workers used to come to London from across Europe. And they're not anymore?
They're not. I haven't had a single applicant who's in
From
English.
across Europe.
As the holiday season draws near, business leaders say Christmas this year may be bleak.
What is blocking the Europeans, brethren of the crown, from being able to move and be employed? I'm just curious.
What is the worst case scenario?
Well, it's disruption for customers in shops. It means that the items they want to get, be it turkeys or toys, just might not be available when they want it.
The UK government says it's issuing 5,000 temporary visas for foreign truck drivers. Business leaders here say that simply won't be enough. Nate?
Holly Williams in London, thank you. Up next, Vlad Dutier has the stories that you'll be talking about today. But first, it's 7:44. Time to check your local weather.
You'll want to grab an umbrella before you head out the door today. Temperatures will still be...
I'm just moving location from living room. So now this is still where I am, where that was aired and broadcast. I spoke with one of my favorite NYPD officers this morning as I walked his neighborhood repeat face that I get to see, and he's receptive of just light chat, so this way there's some stable figure in Bayside area that I know of, and in a uniform with the NYPD patch, and it's navy blue on navy blue. So I spoke with him this morning. He saw me walk Anthony to school, as I do every morning. And I asked him, I said, you're wise, you're older and wiser than I am. I was like, I heard yesterday a vaccinologist, or a virologist, I think is what they call them, mention the word postulate. Now, for me, I thought postulate, philosophy, like, where do they exist in, like, the world? And he was like, that's a good question. And I was like, no, I get it. I was like, because I'm pretty sure if the virologist is saying it has something to do with biology, and that postulate has biology involved in it. But then there's other areas of philosophy and postulates that are written. But like, if I said I postulate all the time, I was like, but where do you submit a postulate? And he was like, yeah, I said, I don't. And I was like, see, that's been my problem. I said, is I was born here in this town. I went to kindergarten, first grade here. I was like, and then I moved out to Long Island. Like, you just take northern Suffolk County. You take Northern Boulevard all the way down until it forks into 3, going to Woodbury, Huntington, or Cold Spring Harbor Village. I was like, and that's where St. John's Church and the fish hatchery was. That's where I was being held growing up. So now, I just down Northern Boulevard, the wheels never left the pavement. So now I was like, but where in my lifetime, my life frame, I was like, there was nobody in school saying, like, postulate is something important in society. It's something that you need to know the word, how it works, and whatever. I was like, it's almost like they withheld any kind of career, like, possibilities until all of a sudden it was like, okay, so what do you want to do when you grow up? And it was like, I don't know, what are my choices? And then it's like, oh, too late, none for you. And so he was like, yeah. He's like, so your son's in, like, what? And I said, my son's in, he says, what, like 4th grade now? And I said, yeah, actually he is. He's in 4th grade now. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, I was like, anyway, have a good day. And I walked off. But and then I was waiting at the light, realized I had a long time because the light had just changed. I walked back to mention the scaffolding thing on Bell Boulevard. But then he wasn't at the front gate. He must have walked away for a minute. But I also noticed this morning, just to be correct, on the one side of Northern Boulevard, there's been scaffolding around the school building, the PS31Q in Bayside Station, Bayside, Queens, New York, 11361. Pretty much since my son started pre-K, I think within that year to kindergarten transition, they put scaffolding up along the entire building for construction. But on the other side, where I normally walk and do my route of promenade with the parasol, that area is where the shops are, and the shopkeep, and the businesses, and so on and so forth. I know for my grandfather there was a big distinction between where the schoolyard is and the children are to be kept safe, and then where the business is conducted for crime and so on and so forth, to be kept away from the children, if something should happen or break out. So the scaffolding on the business area of Bell Boulevard yesterday, after I went for my first walk, I spoke to Lewis. I went back on the opposite side of the street. I didn't see it till my second walk, and then all of a sudden I realized how crunched I was with my umbrella or my parasol, trying to squeeze through with oncoming traffic coming at me, right by where the restaurants are, and it's already a narrow passageway, reminiscent of the Cuban shop across the street, who I saw something yesterday, last week, they have a French flag out, big one, and a United States of America flag out, right next to the Cuban place and the Fino, Fino, and some of the business shopkeeps were gathering and talking about it and looking across the street at the gigantic flag. I didn't know you were allowed to fly any other flag other than the United States of America while we are here, so I'm just curious how the France flag got put up, but again, I don't know what's worth mentioning and what's not, and who's involved. Let's just go with Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxies, broken. I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361, and it's Nicole Cattaruzza, star 1978, star 8378.